Today is May the 9th. The Yankees just took 2 out of 3 from the Nats, a couple walk-offs. How about it? R.I.P. JOMBOY, we miss you, we love you. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY, JOMBOY and Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY, JOMBOY and Jake. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY, JOMBOY and Jake.
What's going on, everybody? I mean, just hearing myself do the intro, that feels weird. Welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings. BBD is here. You will notice that my good friend, occasional lover, JOMBOY, is not here. He is recovering, we think. Jimmy got pretty sick on Friday, and he kind of tapped out and was recovering. And then he also had his vax shot this weekend. So JOMBOY is hurting. Tweeted him, give him some love. He needs it right now. You know, should be getting better. Hopefully he's on the way back up. Me and BBD are going to carry the ship. We're going to have a special guest appearance mid-episode, a person who's been on Talkin' Yanks a lot. I'll just reveal it. It's Bryan Hoch. So we'll get Bryan Hoch's thoughts on this Yankees homestand, 7-2, 9 games. The Detroit Tigers, we took care of them. The Houston Astros and all the chaos that came with that, and then the end of this series. The Nationals, where the Yankees lost the first one. They bounced back. A nice little homestand. Luke Voit should be returning soon. BBD, how are you, my beautiful friend?
Jake, I'm doing a lot better than Jimmy right now. He's feeling it at a few ends, as I understand it.
Oh.
I don't know, just a few different ailments going on, I think.
Oh.
I mean, I guess we haven't heard if he's still lingering from the Friday stuff, but separate issues.
I thought you meant literally.
No.
Okay.
But I like saying that when people are sick.
Yeah.
Just even if they aren't. And, yeah, found out I was going to be doing this just long enough before to get kind of nervous about it.
Ooh, okay.
So
I like that.
So we'll see how this goes. So if everyone could just be cool about it.
Yeah. Okay. BBD's nervous. You know what? You just got to harness those nerves, BBD. That's what it's all about. And you know what? I think I'll do something half slutty, half nice. You know what you guys can do? We never do this. Go leave a 5-star review and say, "Get better, Jimmy," and leave some nice words about him. We're a couple reviews behind another Yankees pod that had a 3-year head start on us. And if we could finally get over that hurdle, I think that might make the big guy feel better. So we never asked for that, but if you could, 5 stars, Talkin' Yanks. Say something nice about Jimmy. Pick him up. Pick him up. That's what good teams do. You pick up your guy.
It would make his last 72-ish hours worth it.
God, bad 72 hours. We got the live chat going on. Thank you, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Man, the Yankees, how about it? 7-2 homestand. I know I talked to Trevor Plouffe on the pregame show that we've started doing, him and Chris Rose, subbed in for Rosie. And I was like, you know, is it obnoxious to say the Yankees need to win 6-7 games on this homestand? And he said no. Like, teams, especially the Yankees, play for their homestands now. And the Yankees, they did it, man. They took care of the Tigers, swept them, and then they won the other 2 series. We finally win on a record day, which that's nice. But there was a little bit of fear, you know, when the Yankees lost the first game of this set. And then you got Scherzer game 2, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. For the Yankees to come back, they get 2 walk-off wins. One is, you know, the fake extra innings, whatever we do now in extras. And then today was a nice one. You know, they were set up in the 8th. Everyone thought they were going to do it there. Stanton gets it done. We'll talk about that in the Burns a little bit. BBD, what do we need to do for housekeeping?
Well, I think we're getting the biggest absence of the team back very soon.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Tuesday Voigt's back.
Yeah.
They haven't said it. They were like dancing around it.
They did
Yankees.
very much Aaron Boone quotes. They said he was in play for Tuesday, which it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I hope if Luke Voigt's in play that we play him. So, and it just makes sense. Like, he got a full week, maybe even a little more of rehab in. He's been killing it. He had another nuke today. So, yeah, the next time we talk, Luke Voigt should be back with the Yankees. So that's really exciting, especially when a couple of these lineups we trotted out, Scherzer's strikeout day, starts to make a little more sense when you look at it.
It was the most, like, rightfully angry Twitter's gotten about some lineups in a little bit. And the Yankees did just, again, all 3 Houston games, they put out the lineups you would have asked for.
Right.
Pretty much. I mean, everyone's got their preferences, but...
Yeah, and they, having a successful homestand, I think they also took some liberties. Judge set out today. Gio's been out. He should be back, knock on wood. The reports around him sound decent.
And they let him sit for 3 days instead of putting him on the IL, so you assume he's in play to do something in the Tampa series.
And we survived. I mean, Andujar ended up at third. We ended our last episode with that whole discussion. We thought Kyle Holder might be on the way because he got pulled from the minor league game. Papadou comes back up and joins the team, which that's really, it's exciting. Like, I know, Andujar clearly has some flaws. If you asked what's his position right now, I don't think we have an answer. So that's something. But, man, there are a lot of good memories tied to Miguel Andujar. That one year, he was so good. So
the 1 year we got to fully see him, and you got at bats every day. And
that being said,
we hadn't seen Gio yet, so we were a little brainwashed. But we made excuses for the injuries at the time, or not injuries, for the bad defense at the time.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I regret ever kind of tweeting nice things there.
Yeah.
Or tweeting that I can get over it because I kind of can't. But
hey, man, young ball players,
show me the perfect one.
We hope there was going to be growth, and now with Luke Voigt coming back, I'm not sure if there will be a role for him. We'll see. I mean, maybe 40 goes down. We'll keep an eye on that. That's exciting. Any pitching injuries or updates? I don't think so. Right?
No, O'Day was last.
Albert
week.
Abreu got sent down.
Make room for
Andujar because they didn't put Gio on the IL. And then we kind of didn't use Mike King until today before the off day. So we'll talk about that.
Games.
I don't think there's any other housekeeping. There was a weird rain delay on Saturday, but I think we'll talk about that in the games
when we get to it.
Should we burn BBD?
I think so.
So we're still gonna do everything. We're still we're gonna burn. We're gonna give out awards, and we're gonna have a little Bryan Hoch cameo. So there's the path to the show. Before we do the burns, one ad today, guys. So listen to it. Magic Spoon. If you've heard us talk about it, you guys know us pretty well. We've been messing up Magic Spoon in the office. I say that in a good way. We've been eating a lot of Magic Spoon. It's a healthy cereal, 0 grams of sugar per serving. It's like keto. If you're a keto person, it's healthy. So they've got a bunch of flavors. We still haven't tried. What's the new one?
The birthday cake.
Birthday
it's a special
cake.
Edition. I think this month's the only month you can get it if you're trying to cash in.
So we got to get our hands on that.
I've heard rumors that that we should be in luck soon.
Okay. I like that a lot. MagicSpoon.com/Yanks. You can save $5 on your order at checkout with promo code Yanks. You should just get the variety pack. They have a 4-pack. It comes in one package. You eat a bunch of it. 140 calories a serving, keto-friendly, gluten-free, like all of the keywords they basically check off. So that's magicspoon.com/Yanks, and then it's promo code Yanks. Get their limited edition birthday cake. We're going to eat it soon. We'll probably turn that into content, and we like them a lot. There's frosted, fruity. In the chat right now, they're saying mix them, and that's the perfect thing.
They did they tell us the ratios of stuff to make their?
You gotta do it on your own. I'm sure there's some 70-30s out there. I'm sure some 90-10s.
Yeah.
You just sprinkle it in there. So go check them out. Magic Spoon, discount code Yanks. They've been awesome to us, and it's a really good product. So if you're a cereal person, go check them out.
Yeah. If you like cereal, you like it. You hear it's supposed to be healthy, and like you think like, I'm sure it won't be bad, but like it's probably gonna taste like they're trying to be healthy. No,
Right.
Like it does
this
taste like actually good.
This is gonna be healthy stuff. Like, no, it's just good. It's just good. So with that, BBD, let's burn, baby.
Are you ready?
Born.
On
Maybe.
your mark, get set, burn.
A couple Yankees legends linking up in the Bronx. Southpaw Patrick Corbin, who turned down his best man at his wedding's wish to sign a big old contract with the Nats, versus Jameson Taillon as he continues the start of an actual Yankees career. DJ 26 with another hit, and it's a big fly. How about a leadoff homer for the machine? In the third, Gomes rings the bell as Jan and Josh homer, making it 3-1 Nats. Release the Kraken. Haven't said that in a minute. Is Gary scary? Hey, DJ, bring that back. Thank you, sir. May I have another second homer of the day for LeMahieu? Like splitting a sixer with a buddy. It's 3 apiece. Corbin and Taillon had pretty similar starts, but the Yanks had an AC/DC 8th inning as they took the highway to hell. 6 runs, 3 errors as the Yanks and their pen collapses. This one ends 11-4. Nats final. Ew. Ugh.
You.
You is right, man. So this was Friday night. This was when James started to become very sick. After leaving work, I had a couple beers with a couple buddies. The man, Joe Cool himself. And then I went back. I watched the first couple innings of this game, and I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh yeah, fell asleep 8:30, right?
Yeah, fell asleep at 8:30 p.m. Woke up at 4 a.m. on the couch with the dog. Couldn't go back to sleep, so I watched the Yankees replay. So I did watch this game, but it's tough watching a loss.
Did you know what happened when you started watching?
Yes, because I scrolled the Talkin Yanks feed and all that. So yeah, it was a weird kind of form of torture, but I didn't feel the live emotions at the time. So BBD, I don't know if you want to start there or whatever else jumps out to you.
Yeah, I mean I guess most of the game was a good game.
Right.
Just 8th inning, it all kind of fell apart, and I guess it comes back to like rare culprits. DJ and Judge made the errors that sort of changed the inning and the game. Kind of spoiled Taillon's good night.
Yeah, JMO. He goes 6.1, 3 earned runs, 99 pitches, which, hey, end of the day, like, we're just trying to get that pitch count up. He recovers from his second. And didn't he record like 14 in a row, too? Something like that?
I think his last 14, he retired.
So that's good. I mean, we'll semi put that in the win column. Yeah, 6.1, 3 earned runs. I mean, coming from where our starting pitching was a few weeks ago. Yep. Wandy Peralta's a hero. That's a quote from JOMBOY himself. And then, yeah, Johnny L's a weird mix of getting hit and also not getting help. Yep. And
he let some hits happen after, so statistically all earned runs, all that. And
let's be honest, our bullpen was kind of due. That's why, at the end of the Astros series, we weren't too mad because it was like, well,
Chad'll do that.
They've been the best part of our team. Yeah, like the bullpen's been so good, and it's just Jimmy laid it out best last episode. He's like, oh, Chad always gives up homer in big spots because he always pitches in big spots. So Johnny L's, for the season he's had so far, I mean, he was due for this. His ERA was in the zeros. It jumps to 2.89, and I mean,
it's still good.
Still really good, and tells you about reliever ERA. Sessa also gets hit around a little bit. Soto homers in the 9th inning. That kind of that swing that makes him special. That line drive to opposite field, basically. DJ with the 2-homer game. That's pretty big. His Gleyber Torres' lack of power had kind of been covering for him. And they were, definition of porch jobs, but hey, that's where we play.
Played in Yankee Stadium. He's getting to face Corbin, who coming into the day he had, I think, 4 career homers against.
Right.
He's had Corbin's
good
number.
Matchup.
Both played in the NL West for a while. They faced each other a lot.
It's a good matchup.
First leadoff homer of the year, which makes sense because only his second.
Yeah, and
are we planning to do DJ stuff later?
we might. I don't know. That's where I guess I'll tiptoe a little bit. But he's there's some numbers, so I guess we'll save something for later that show kind of how dynamic and special he is to the Yankees offense. So getting him going a little more has been, a low-key part of this Yankees streak. BBD?
Awesome. Play that louder. Andujar sent down.
There you go. So there's your answer. Yeah, I mean, kind of makes sense. They want to get him at bats. So they'll keep Ford on the bench. I'm sure they'll bring Voit back slowly.
Gets probably a straight-up day off and the DH day in Tampa.
Especially in Tampa. And then if
they
everyone
probably
stays...
want to get Giancarlo a day in Tampa, too, even though the DH... Not a new conversation.
Yeah, and everyone... So there is an off day tomorrow before the Tampa set, so we'll figure all that out. And then we'll see. I mean, Odor's been running around, so you wonder if Ford's lined up for him, or does Wade hang out? We'll see. But until then, what else was in... Gary homered, 420, classic. Sat on the breaking ball, hit a bomb, and I think I do need to walk it back a little bit. I was kind of on a... Gary's getting close to the starting gig a little bit, especially if he can get a little hot. And I thought this might be it, but what Higgy does the next day, and Higgy's just been really good. But yeah, I mean, disaster inning happened. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yanks drop back to 500.
It was, it's scary a bit in the moment because Scherzer's the next day.
Right.
We weren't going to have a Cole game this series. So people got a little nervous. Drop below 500 again. You were hoping when we got over that hump, we'd stay over that hump. It
was a really exciting homestand up until, we blow the Astros game and then we lose this game and it's like, okay, this homestand could end very differently, especially with Max Scherzer on the mound versus the Klubot. I think we're ready to go there.
Think so.
Let's do it.
Jake, on your mark, get set, burn.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like pitchers who are badasses. We got some Cy Young awards on the bump as Mad Max Scherzer would unleash a fury road versus the humans must die. Klubot tries to stay hot for the Yanks. Hey, if there's ever a time to walk in a run, it's when Juan Soto is up. Nats get on the board first. I love it when you call me Hig Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you're the starting catcher. Higgy ties it up at ones. Old friend caught me a starlin', gives the Nats a 1-run lead. Max Scherzer, my goodness, sets the record for opposing starting pitcher K's as a bad man, overshadowing Kluber's 5.22-run effort. We're going bottom 9. It gets cold in the Bronx as Brad hands the lead over on a Gleyber Torres RBI single. Buenos Cantos. What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. Trey Tina Turner, Ribby, okay. But nothing more reliable than a Ford. Mike slaps one oppo after showing bunt. Let's do it again. Base is hucked for the Yanks. It is high. It is far. It is a tapper to third. Gleyber Torres, the first walk-off hit for the Yanks as they go Kluber to Chad to Litke to Chapman to Justin Wilson with the big inning. Yanks survive Scherzer Day and win 4-3 final.
Yanks win.
Yanks win.
First walk-off of the year is fun.
Yeah, and again, just one of those like, wow, it's May. You think you just stumble into one, especially with the extra inning rules and how they technically are this year.
Just didn't happen.
Yeah, so peeling back the curtains a little bit, this was the rain delay game, which was bizarre.
Yeah, very weird.
Very light
especially
rain.
in hindsight.
very light rain in the Bronx.
Yeah, they must have thought it was only going to be like an hour and then clear. It's waiting like almost 3 hours.
I don't know, man. I started going conspiracy theory a little bit, like maybe they were trying to mess with Scherzer or something. Because man, the weather really wasn't.
If they needed to, they
canceling
absolutely
weather.
Yeah, they absolutely could have played.
And the tweets were so weird. You know, we're gonna get you an update at 2, and it's like it's not really raining. Like we could be playing baseball. So let's see. Kluber walks in a run on Soto, which again not too exciting, but the way I phrased it in the burn, like, I mean, the fact he's out of it after that, you know, if you listed guys you'd want to walk in a run to on MLB, like Soto could be your number 2 answer, and people would be fine with it.
Yeah, it cracks most people's top 3. I would guess.
Yeah. So there's that. Kluber. So this was kind of a pivot start for him. We talked about this. We did the Talkin Yanks pregame show on Instagram while Jimmy was surviving, because he'd gotten the shot, but it hadn't kicked in yet. And I don't know. I mean, I'm still putting this as a win for Kluber. You know, 5.2 2-earned runs from where we were before his starts against the Orioles and Tigers. Like, that would have been a win at the time. So, you know.
Before those starts, that would have been his best start of the year statistically, right?
Right, and we always do, you know, this start would look a lot different if it was 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, but 101 pitches, and they go to Chad, and that's just baseball nowadays. So it's good, and you know, the Kluber highlights are highlights. Like that backdoor breaking ball to Josh Bell, we've started to see that. He brought the changeup back across the plate. Was that to Soto? That might have been the Tyone start, but he brought a changeup back that was really nice in a big spot. So
you can still flash it.
Yeah, I mean, Kluber's showing a nice pitch mix, and he's still, you know, coming back. And when we say that, like, I don't know, if we told anybody that we'd be sitting with Corey Kluber on May 9th and he'd be 2-2 with a 3.06 ERA, like, everyone would have signed up. Because we kind of didn't know what we're going to get. So, good with Kluber. He gets out-dueled, but I think any pitcher in baseball would have gotten out-dueled in this day. Holy crap, man.
Yeah, a lot of people very upset about just Scherzer, 14 Ks. And, I mean, I think 28 other teams also wish they would strike out less against Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried. I wouldn't harp on that.
Yeah.
But.
And, I mean, he looked good, man. Yeah. Like, he was dotting some pitches. The strikeout to Gardy stands out. Like Brett almost, you could see his computer going like, I kind of want to argue, but I know that pitch was awesome. So
it was
like,
good either
I don't
way.
think I will.
Yeah. Kluber, I'll take that. I mean, Susan had a good quote during the game because, like, she said, everyone's gonna say Kluber was better last time. Well, he was facing the Tigers. It's not the same thing. This is a good team.
Yeah, I think after seeing the Tigers, I mean, there's an argument that 5.2 2-earned runs against the Nationals is better than 8 shutout against those Tigers. Bullpen, Sneaky does their job. I mean, Litke, 2 shutout innings. Chapman was in some trouble in the extra innings, and then he dialed it in.
He let up a hit and a walk. Technically, it was his worst inning. This year,
right?
He's in. It's a tough spot. I guess I haven't said it, but I think they've generally avoided using him in the extra innings because he likes a clean inning. Which, I mean, who doesn't?
Right.
But,
Same.
So this is the first time in my memory that I can think of him being in one of the weird extra inning games. He probably got one last year, but maybe not. He only pitched like 9 games. Last year was so weird.
Last year was weird. The extra inning thing is weird. Brad Hand, the Yankees just own him. Glaber with the rip to third base, just a tapper that pitcher couldn't really feel. But hey,
perfect spot.
We'll take it. And yeah, I saw it in the chat before. You know, Yankees essentially I mean, steal a win. Anytime you read that an opposing starting pitcher goes 7.1, 1 earned run, 14 Ks, you usually lose that game.
Yeah, wasn't there? I think there was a number going around that like pitchers in games where the starter gets 14 or more Ks.
Yeah,
maybe there's some other thing on it. There was like they were like 104 and 4 or something ever.
I saw that going around.
It's got to be more than
123 and 13 or something.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, that sounds closer to what it was.
What else? I mean, Higgy bomb, unbelievable. You know, a very important run in this game. So that's
to get it right after they had lost, or they had given them the lead. You know, bottom half of the third. So she didn't have to like sit there in a 1-0 hole against Scherzer, who was doing that.
And how about this? This is a sneaky stat that you rarely see. They were 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position in that game. The Yankees were.
Really?
So that's
the chances they got.
That feels weird. But good. We'll take it. Anything else on this, Biebers?
Nothing that I don't think is going to be covered later.
Okay.
Last game?
Last game, I just gave Bryan Hoch a 5-minute warning, so let's do it in 5 minutes.
All right. Well, in that case, on your mark, get set, and burn.
Domingo on Domingo in the Boogie Down Bronx, and kiss your madres. Happy Mother's Day. Love you, Mom. As Tyson, Rick Ross, the boss, stay scheming. Oh, you didn't know I had Ricky Rose in the bag, huh? Trying to win the rubber match of this 3-game set. Hicksy, baby, one more time. Aaron gets the scoring started with an RBI single in the third. Bottom 6. Oh, first time being able to say this all year. Gleyber bombs. Torres hits his first homer of the year. Wow, that's insane. It's 2-0 Yanks. Scratch that. Tied game. Domingo's only blemish on the day. Another rumored Yankees legend, Kyle Schwarber, finds the bleachers. Bottom 9, we're tied up. Will Brad hand over another win for the Yanks? Giancarlo, let the rhythm take you over. Giancarlo rips it through the hole like a rolled ankle in basketball. The Yankees walk it off. Herman to King to Peralta to Chapman. Yankees win 3-2 and win the series 2-1 final. Let's go, Yanks. Okay.
Another fun one.
Got a little emotional there. This was another fun one, BBD. The Gleyber home run, that was really cool, seeing his
really
reaction. Stanton had been hitless up until through that series, up until that final at bat. Domingo good. Like, another speed game. Like, the first 5 innings took an hour. And I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then it became a normal baseball game, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yankees had some rallies. They could have taken the lead in the 8th and handed it to Chapman. They intentionally walked forward to get to Clint. It's pretty wild if you told us that before the season.
Or before today.
Yeah.
Like still.
Or before today. Mike King with an appearance out of the bullpen. Still hasn't given up a run. We'll see if we hear about him later. Wandy Peralta, 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's obvious. It's the most obvious thing ever. And, I mean, mostly good for Gleyber. Bottom of the lineup, Jesus, really didn't do much today. I don't know, anything before we call Hokie?
There was a part of me in the moment that would that thought if I was Boone, I'd consider getting Wandy back out there for more because he threw a pitch. But in hindsight, kind of everybody was available with the off day tomorrow.
Right.
So,
and you saw that because I was wondering that with Mike King. I was like, oh, are they just going to let King ride? Like, if this is a tied game, will they just let him throw pitches? And no. So they were willing to use the bullpen before the off day to win the series, which was cool because they could have not.
Yeah, coming in, I mean, Chapman you knew was going to be used at some point, or you figured. Justin Wilson had pitched the day before, but only 11 pitches, and he hadn't gone in a while, or he's been used so sparingly lately. So you figure he was available.
What a big inning the day
Lakey
before.
probably wasn't available 2 innings the day before, but Sessa and Loizaga both pitched the first game and got beat around a little bit, but you figure they were around. So you had your options. Green was probably around for one. So in the moment, I was like, oh, maybe throw Wandy out there again. But
top 4, everybody had a hit. Top 3 guys all got on at least twice. So how about that from the Yankees lineup? Let's call our friend Bryan Hoch.
Let's do it
and see what he's got to say. Bryan Hoch, MLB.com. Is that right?
Yeah,
I think so. Right. I just brought up my recent calls, like I call him all the time, which would be nice.
Good start.
Calling Roadcast Pro. It's Bryan Hoch.
There he is.
Bryan Hoch.
Hey, what's happening?
Happy Mother's Day.
Well, thank you to those who celebrate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I know you and I normally catch up every Mother's Day, but it's better to do this while we talk some Yanks.
Yes, we try to whenever possible.
Did you see weird starting place? Did you see Jimmy's post-game recap? He looks pretty bad.
Yeah, that was pretty rough to watch. I did watch it. Connie showed it to me, actually. So we're celebrating Mother's Day with Jimmy's post-game recap. And, yeah, he looked kind of sweaty, looked a little washed out. Not having a great day, I guess.
Yeah, so he should bounce back. He was sick and then got his vax shot, so he's kind of at the peak right now. We think he's coming down. Thank you for taking time on your Mother's Day to talk some Yanks with us.
Well, why not? Where else would I rather be?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Where do you want to start, Bryan? I mean, this homestand in general, 7-2, it feels kind of impactful with Voit coming back. The National Series itself, after losing back-to-back games, the Pen blows the Astros game, which everyone's kind of fine with because the Pen had been so good. But then you lose the first game, and Scherzer's on the mound for game 2, and things are looking a little scary. This homestand feels kind of important for the Yankees season.
I agree with you. The fact that they were able to go 7-2 and they're still not really hitting, thought would. The pitching has been great. There's been a couple blips here and there. You mentioned the Chad Green bullpen thing, and I thought that yesterday really felt like an important win for me because they stole one. They did not deserve to win that game. Max Scherzer strikes out 14. He was dominant, and that just had the feeling through 7 innings of a game where it's like, oh, well, they're not going to win this one. But the pitching kept it close. Kluber did a really good job. The bullpen did a good job, and let him hang in there enough to get back at the bullpen. And, man, they are just beating up on Brad Hand. It's one of those situations where you look at his numbers and you're like, oh, wow, he's having a good year. But every time the Yankees see him, going back to last year with Cleveland, he can't throw a strike. So maybe they're taking advantage of some things here. You'd still like to see them get a few more timely hits. They had a load of traffic on the base pass today. And obviously came down to the final at bat of the game with Stanton coming through with the big hit. But I still feel like this offense is going to get better at some point. And if the pitching continues, then the defense has been pretty good with the exception of that one really ugly inning. Man, I think that better days are ahead for this Yankee team. So we'll see where they go from here. Yeah,
it's exciting that they're not clicking, and at the same time, it's there's kind of the waiting on it and wanting it to happen. And I've tempered my thoughts a little bit because they are heading to Tampa, which has been a Yankees house of horrors a little bit. What else jumped out for you this series? I mean, Glaber gets his first home run. Do we think the baseball gods are going to kick in and he's going to get hot? Because he's kind of been hot just without power.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has been getting some hits, even in a situation the other day where they just needed him to put a ball in play and he taps that one down the third baseline. Like, he's been coming through in some situations. But, yeah, you've been waiting on that power because the Glaber Torres from 2 years ago who tortured Gary Thorne and the Orioles and had 38 home runs, we haven't seen that guy yet. So maybe this does spark the power. I feel like Aaron Boone has talked about it, and Marcus Sims, too, has talked about the fact that Gleyber's been trying to hit for power, and maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe he just needed to let it come back to him naturally. So maybe getting a couple of random hits there, like I mentioned, the tapper down the third baseline, that was the game winner, the walk-off there. He had another hit earlier in that game. Maybe that's what kind of gets him going to say, hey, I don't have to hit the ball 500 feet. That's Stanton's job. Let Judge try to do that. Let's just try and be Gleyber Torres, and the power will come, because we've seen it in the past with him. He doesn't have to be a home run hitter. He just has to make good contact, and the ball will get out.
Yeah. No, it's perfect. And yeah, I mean, you could literally see it in his swings. He would do that first pitch swing where he'd swing out of his shoes, and it just never connected. So hopefully, he kind of reverse engineered it. He started knocking it around, and hopefully the big flies come in droves, I'll say. Let's do, because I want to talk a little bit of the pitching with you, and that's a really fun topic for the Yankees right now. But I guess before we get there, and I'll sandwich it with the good stuff. We can spin this in a good way. Of the Yankees that kind of have been struggling, I mean, it's when we start the series with the Rays, it's going to be May 11th. Like we're starting to get into the season now.
Right.
I guess who are you either most surprised about, or who do you think's going to turn it around? I mean, Hicks. I mean, Gary's lost his job. I guess Clint really hasn't been hitting, but Gardy also hasn't been hitting. So I don't know. Do any of those guys kind of stand out to you? Like you either maybe think it's going to come, or you're just not sure what's going on with them?
Well, I think that the guy who surprises me right now is Judge. And he acknowledged it yesterday in the postgame. He was on Zoom with us, and he said, I've been terrible. And so I feel like he's really been searching for something, and he pointed to the Houston series as something where his emotions just got the best of him. He was really trying to dominate that whole series, and for good reason. Like, obviously, you go back a few years to the Altuve thing. Like, he really wanted to be on center stage and take over that Astro series. And I think he got out of his game a little bit there. And so, I think that over the course of 140, 150 games, whatever Judge is going to wind up playing this year, I think the offense will be there. But right now, it has looked pretty rough for him. And you mentioned a few other guys there. I guess that of the guys you mentioned, Clint surprises me the most, because I really believed, like, this is his opportunity. He's going to come in. Finally, it doesn't have to look over his shoulder anymore. He can come in and be the guy in left field. He obviously had a big confidence boost last year with getting the Gold Glove nomination. And, I just thought that this was going to be a year where he could come in and really prove everything we've been talking about for the last few years about the legendary bat speed and all that, and just haven't seen the production. And so, I feel like it's not for a lack of opportunity. You mentioned Gardy, and Gardy has certainly got some playing time there, but Boone has said, hey, I've given Clint a lot of opportunities too, and he's going to continue to get them. At some point, I think it's got to turn around, because this is not the Clint Frazier that I saw in spring training. It's not the Clint Frazier we've seen over the last few years. So I do think that, that would probably be my biggest surprise of the guys you mentioned, is that Clint has not just stepped up and really been one of the guys in this lineup yet.
Yeah, it's, that's what he's supposed to have as kind of his baseline. Like, we've seen him be streaky a little bit, but when Clint hits, it's a thing of beauty, and we haven't really seen it at all. And I wonder, it was nice seeing Miguel Andujar in pinstripes. I mean, that's a guy that pulls at my heartstrings a little bit, just because he was so fun that one year. I wonder if he's got to be thinking, and I know he just got sent down, but left field in theory is one of his positions now. That if he's probably telling himself, if I hit a little bit, like there's still time in this Yankees season. Hopefully, and a lot of these guys should be turning around. I mean, this is also happening all around baseball. It's kind of insane.
Right, and that's the thing. Yeah, if you look league wide at the production, the batting average, everything around. I mean, the offense is down everywhere. There's not a whole lot of teams that are really just bashing the ball nonstop here. So it's not an isolated case, but in Clint's case, I mean, the talent is just so real and legit. I mean, I saw it in spring training. I've seen it with my own eyes. And, then to come up here and be in the colder weather and to not have it click, that was surprising to me. The Andujar move kind of was a head scratcher to me. I figured with Luke Voigt coming back next week, and it looks like Voigt's going to be back on Tuesday, and you have Gio Urshela back on Tuesday. With that all happening, I kind of figured that Mike Ford would be the odd man out because Ford's another one of those guys who is waiting for that opportunity, has not really seized it. I know he had the one big hit that retied the game yesterday, but I thought that Ford was going to be the odd man out and Andujar would get a little more run. So I was surprised to see that roster move come through.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of theorized Andujar's missed so much baseball that they still must just want to get him reps. I mean, that
makes sense. Yeah,
it's been a while, you know.
Yeah, there's an element of just like having him on the roster and not getting him ABs every day. Like what's that doing for anybody?
Yeah,
right.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's like I mentioned with the pitching, Brian, it's kind of been a 180. I've stopped saying 360 because I've realized that just means you end up back where you are. Yeah. The starting, it took me a while. Only took me 3 decades to figure that out.
You are not the first person to make that mistake. Trust me.
Yeah. I guess my eyes jumped to Kluber. Yankee fans, we were kind of, I don't want to say living in fear because that's a little dramatic, but we hadn't seen Corey Kluber in a few years. We didn't really know what we were going to get. And I think we're starting to kind of open that optimistic door that, you know, Corey Kluber, if the Yankees treat him like Corey Kluber, if he looks like the old Corey Kluber, you know, we can now start dreaming of like the dream 1-year signing that the Yankees are going to use him and burn him and kind of treat him like an elite starting pitcher, which I'm not ready to fully jump there after Tigers, Orioles, and then 5.2 2-earned runs against the Nationals, but I think we're feeling pretty good about Corey Kluber, no?
I don't, as far as the Yankees are concerned with Kluber, they shouldn't care if he's Cy Young Kluber because it doesn't matter for what they paid. Like, take the ball 25, 30 times, give him 6 innings, 3 runs. That's good enough. Like, you'll take that if you can guarantee that Corey Kluber is a quality start type guy. Because, like I said, the way this offense is, remember, they're an American League team. They're eventually going to get back to bashing the ball. Just keep them in the game. And that's what he's done. Obviously, he dominated those 2 games that you talked about with Detroit and Baltimore, but those are weaker lineups. Now, when they get to face teams that are a little better and those teams are coming here, just keep them in the game. And that's really all they have to ask of Tyone and Domingo Germán and Montgomery. I mean, Garrett Cole is an elite starting pitcher. He's one of the best on the planet, right? And we've seen that already. So he's your stud. He's your ace. Now the rest of it, just fill in behind that, and you're going to get Luis Severino back at some point. Hopefully Sevy looks like what he was a few years ago. I don't know if you can bank on it, but I feel pretty good about the state of the rotation because that was my big question coming into this year. I figured the bullpen would be fine. I figured they're going to score a bunch of runs. My question was, are these guys going to be healthy? Are they going to keep them in the game? And they've done better than I expected. So if they can just keep this trucking for a few more months here and hold the fort until Severino comes back, and who knows what Cashman has up his sleeve near the deadline. There could be something coming. There could not. I don't know. But and then you've got other guys knocking on the door. You got Clark Schmidt, who could be back at some point. You got Davy Garcia, who's been up already once. And Michael King. King just looks great. I don't know if he'll be so stretched out enough that he could be a starter for you, but I mean, he really has taken a big step forward as far as I'm concerned this year.
Yeah, King's been fun, man. I mean, he hasn't given up a run. He's been perfect.
I think
it's wild.
I mean, it's hard to be better than he has been, right?
Yeah.
And his reward has been 4 times going back and forth to Scranton because the food is really good in Scranton. I'm told.
Here's your Uber. Yeah, that's tough.
Right. Enjoy.
If you here's kind of a hokey sports radio question, if you will. If you had to buy stock in Monty, Tyone, or Germán, who would you go with?
Isn't there a thing where you can do this? Isn't that like a real thing where you can buy stock and ask for it and it goes up and down? I'm putting you on the spot. Like I've definitely seen an ad for that. Like I don't know how it works. I think it's some fantasy sports thing. But okay, to answer your question, if I had to buy stock in Montgomery, Tyone, or Germán, wow. Maybe it's just what I saw today, but maybe give me that Domingo Germán stock because I feel like I thought there was going to be more rust there. I thought that coming off a year where he was doing God knows what, because nobody knew, like nobody had laid eyes on him for a whole calendar year. And then to come back in to dominate in spring training, win that job, and to be holding his own here in the rotation, that's not easy to do. And I know he led the team in victories a couple of years ago, and then obviously what happened. But as far as the pitching side of it goes, he hasn't really missed a beat. So if I got to buy stock in one of those guys, I think that's probably the one I would take right now.
Yeah, his when he throws that good curveball slider, he threw one to Schwarber. I think Schwarber's second at bat. Oh, we lost Bryan Hoch. He was sick of me.
Yeah.
Should we call him back or?
I mean, in theory, we probably needed to leave soon anyway, but we probably should let him finish the conversation.
Yeah, we'll call him back. I was going to let you.
While we're here,
I mean,
Domingo coming into today, his last 3 starts since coming back up from the fake send down to AAA. It's the 3 starts, 2.50 ERA. Don't know what today's start did to it. I imagine if it went up from 2.5, it didn't go up by much.
Yeah.
So he's just been really good.
He said, "I lost you. Call me back."
Did you not like my answer? Is that why you hung up on me?
So, producer BBD got pissed at you because he's a Monty stan.
Like, really?
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Okay, I get it. Fine, Montgomery then. Montgomery.
No, we lost you. It was good comedy on our end.
Well, it's only 2021. God forbid we get a decent cell phone connection.
I can't do a technology thing right now. It's still such a weak point for me, and it always will be. Like, there's no coming back.
It's not going to become more understandable.
Yeah.
No, this is what it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was saying, Herman, I think the second at bat to Schwarber, he threw a strikeout curveball that you just look at it and you're like, that's a wipeout pitch. That's no contest. So yeah, and his BBD was just mentioning his past couple starts since he's come back. He's looked really good after having that big spring training, and then he had a couple bleh. But BBD, what else you got on your mind before we wish Bryan a happy Mother's Day again?
I just like Mike King a lot, but
okay,
it's not really
statement.
A conversation.
We like Mike King. He's cool.
Well,
really
thank you very
nice.
much for weighing in on that. Yeah,
that's the.
I like Michael King too. Michael King is a good dude.
That's the deciding vote. We like Michael King. Bryan,
has been good.
It's Mother's Day, and you're taking time away from your beautiful wife and your kids to talk to us. So I very much appreciate that. Did Michael K post a tweet that had a book in it?
Yeah, he has one of the first. Yeah, when you're Michael K, you get all the perks, right?
That guy.
Yeah, I saw that, and I had to go knock on the door and be like, "Hey, what's going on in here?" So, yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. That was, that was probably the one good thing about yesterday's rain delay, because that was just, man, that was a long day.
What was that, Bryan? It wasn't really raining.
I did not enjoy that. I was not a fan. I give it 1 star out of 5.
1 star.
Bad rain delay.
Glad that's the game that went to extras, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah. But, yeah, he had a copy of the Bronx Zoom, which comes out June 8th. Let me throw in a plug there. And, revisiting the 2020 bizarre season that was the New York Yankees. And, there's quotes in there from a couple guys that I talked to. One guy is named Jimmy O'Brien, and one guy is named Talkin Jake. So, yeah, we actually we covered all the bases with that 2020 season on and off the field.
Yeah, you went way off the field. You went off the tracks with that. No, that was we were both over the moon when you reached out to us on that. So very excited for that. June 8th.
June 8th, Triumph Books, and on sale wherever books are sold, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or, hey, if you DM me, I'll drive a copy to your house. I don't care. I'll do it.
That's why you're the best, Bryan. Thank you so much. Bronx Zoom, get excited for that. And we love you, so we'll probably be talking to you before then anyways.
Well, I love you guys too, so thank you. And I'm glad that we can get all warm and gooey here on Mother's Day. Just a bunch of guys hanging out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bunch of guys getting warm and gooey. That's Bryan Hoch, everybody. Brian.
Wait. Before you hang up on me, what happened with the D-backs yesterday? How did that all come about?
So I guess we could do this now. So the D-backs started interacting with us, and we're like, okay, this is cool. We like that. And then we kind of reached out, and we had a discussion with them about some, easy wins and stuff we can do. And they're, trying to take advantage of social media, which is really exciting. And so we talked about a few things, and then they were coming to the Mets game, so they were like, let's link up. And it kind of turned into, not to go Seinfeld on you, but one thing led to another, yada, yada, yada. And then, yeah, they let us kind of go for it, which was really cool. And Torey Lovello, the head coach, he's like a genuine fan of what we're doing here, which is really cool.
Head coach?
Yeah, man.
You are? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Head coach. I guess they call them managers in this game.
They do in baseball. Yeah.
Okay.
I hate to be that guy. But...
I'm new to this. I'm new to all of it. But no, they.
I know.
They rolled it out pretty good and let us operate and didn't put too many rules, and so Jimmy ended up getting sick and dying, so he was going to be more of a part of it. But yeah, they took care of me. The Diamondbacks fans were awesome because you always wonder how they're going to react to, like, who the hell is this little critter? But they were great, and the whole internet was great. And I think, not to pat ourselves on the back, it's because we've kind of built a brand on, like, being good and not burning bridges and stuff like that. So it was really cool, man. It was really cool.
It is super cool, and I'm proud of you guys. I feel like a proud father because I knew you way back when. So happy for all your success that you're having.
Warm and gooey with Bryan Hoch.
Yes, we are.
Brian, thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks, Brian.
That was Bryan Hoch, MLB. Handsome, nice guy to us. Told him beforehand, hey, Jimmy's dead. Would love if you could tap in for a little bit. So that was great. BBD, let's go to awards.
The first one we give out.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees. Yeah.
So now this is tricky because Jimmy's the Sunday guy, right?
Correct. So
I think you got it.
it's me first. There were two guys that I think are kind of towards the top end of the candidate pool.
Okay.
So I'll take the one that I think is the kind of easier answer, and I'll give it to Gleyber Torres.
Yeah.
I mean, his stats on the series actually aren't particularly impressive. 3 hits, but all 3 hits were impactful.
Yeah.
Well, the dribbler that walked it off. Before that, the little bloop to right center that tied the game, and the homer today, get the monkey off his back. He's been so much better lately, and I suppose the stats aren't fully backing it up, but I'm just very happy for him for this series.
Yeah, and very happy. I mentioned part of our successes here, and it's we've been player focused from the start, like who these guys are, the silly stuff, the thumbs down, going back to that, like all the stuff, these guys' personalities, finding out that Gardy's the big prank guy, like if you're just watching from if you just watch Yes Network, you think Gardy's like bald, scary hardo kinda.
The last thing you think is that he brings comedic relief.
Gleyber Torres, man, when he hit the homer and gave that let's go, I mean, that's a feeling that we've all felt in different aspects of our lives. Whether it was in college, you made a beer pong shot against someone you hated, whether you're working in your garden and you just do the edging perfectly or whatever it is. Everyone's kind of felt that emotion, and it's, man, it was becoming a story. It wasn't fully loud yet, but dude hit 38 homers.
It dates back to the 2020 season. I mean, obviously he hit for some more power in the playoffs, so I wasn't worried about it coming into this year. But he didn't hit for much power last regular season, only 3 homers, and is starting to get a little loud. So hopefully this opens the floodgates. I'm just seeing him happy in the dugout. It's all good stuff.
It's nice. It's nice. And yeah, the defense has been solid. He had the inning from hell. He had the chopper get by him, which inning from hell, whatever.
He got caught up in it. He gets charged with an error, and by the book, I agree.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, you're trying to make the play at home. I think he could have squared himself in front of it, knocked it down, and like minimize damage, I guess. But he's trying to make the play at home, do it quick. I'm not mad at him.
That's a good point. He's trying to make a play, so you can be less mad at him. Like it wasn't just like being dumb. He was trying to do something. I like that.
He was like purposely trying to like backhand it so he can be in position to make the throw home.
Okay.
Didn't work, but he's made pretty much all the routine plays for like a month now.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if that number's right.
Yeah, and we talked about it last episode, the tangible change. He fields it and gets rid of it. He kind of does the sidearm. He aims it high, like get it to the bag. Fordy's helped him a couple times, which, by the way, I don't know if Ford gets any awards, but Kay said it on the broadcast today. Like, as a first baseman, he's been pretty solid. Yeah. Makes some nice picks. Like
from the rest of the first basemen we've seen this year, he is a first baseman.
He looks like someone who practiced first base in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
So we'll take that at this point. That's a good pride, BBD. That's a good pride, a sneaky pride. I'll take the other guy that jumps off the map, DJ LeMahieu. 2-homer game was big for him. Like, again, I mentioned it. Glaber was kind of covering up for his power. Yanks end up losing that game, inning from hell. But he had a hit in every game. Double checking. I just closed out of the last game, but I don't.
Yes.
So, yeah, had a hit in every game. He got on base twice today. He got on base twice yesterday. And then Friday was his big game.
3 hits, 2 homers.
They said the stat on the broadcast, I think in the last 11 games, he's scored 14 runs or something like that, and that's the most in Major League Baseball. So,
yeah, he scored 2 runs in each of the first 2 games.
And I mentioned this one of the previous episodes, and I didn't want to point the finger at him because the whole lineup has had struggles at different points. But, man, he really has become like the fire starter of this Yankees team. Like, sure, Giancarlo was hot, and that's awesome because it's dominant, but when DJ's in the mix, and it's because of how good he's been the past 2 years, like that feels like this Yankees team. Like when he's not
the tone.
When he's not a part of the formula, the Yankees are like
it's hard
kind of dead ducks a little bit. Yeah. It goes from searching for 2-run homers to searching for solo homers, pretty much.
Yeah. He, like during the Astros series, he was also good. I mean, this isn't about that, but under the radar, his like first at bat of that series before the Stanton homer, he battled some tough calls and still gets a single. And I guess I did pull up a stat that I almost tweeted yesterday, but I didn't think
almost tweeted
yesterday morning. This is before Game 2, and I guess it just kind of shows how early the year is, but just that first game, the 3 hits, 2 homers, it raised his season OPS from 697 to 772 entering yesterday. It's just kind of there's still time for his numbers to be just where you want him, even though he hasn't fully done it this year yet.
Yeah, and
it feels a lot better.
It's also crazy because around the league, numbers are still down. Like coming into today, he had a 123 OPS plus, which again, it hasn't felt like DJ's clicked. But he's still been 23% better than league average. Yeah.
And I think that going into Friday was like 108 or something. I looked at that number too. And now he's all of a sudden he's about what you would have expected his baseline to be.
And how about this? The past 11 games, so I think I had this stat right from the broadcast. The Yankees are 8-3. 11 games, he scored 14 runs. Here's his slash line: 341, 442, a 942 OPS. That is the DJ LeMahieu we've seen in pinstripes. So, And yeah, that coincides with the Yankees playing some good baseball. So DJ, Glaber, how about that? Supposed to be up the middle. They get our Pride of the Yankees awards. What's the next one?
You Yankee motherfucker.
I'm trying to figure out exactly where to go here. Because and I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
It's hard because I don't want to give it to anybody, but you have to. That's the game.
Never do.
I feel dirty doing it, and it's probably undeserved. I'll give it to Andujar. He goes 0 in the 2 full games he gets, and it's more of just like I want you to start hitting so bad because it's like he's like one of the most fun guys to watch hit when he's right. And we kind of haven't gotten to seen that in a very long time now, and
yeah.
Like, please. And it's such an undeserved MFer.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's your first 2 games of the year. And one of the games you played first base for the first time. And you weren't noticeable that game. So, like, good job, actually. But
yeah.
But Ofer's Ofer.
Ofer's Ofer. And that's, man, I mentioned it at the end of the Hoch call. He's 0 for 9. Which, hey, 9 plate appearances is 9 plate appearances. Like, it's not, we can't just throw you a ton of opportunity. Like, that is, like, in a 3-game set, that's an opportunity. And, I mean, Andujar, you got to do something to even make it a conversation at this point. Like, you don't, it's been a long time. I had someone, a friend of a friend, ask me this weekend because he's like, oh, you do the Yankee stuff. He's like, where's everyone at with Andujar? Because, like, he was the guy. The next series, he gets 9 at-bats, which he just got sent down, so we'll see when that is. If Andujar threw up a 3 for 9, still probably gets sent down. But
I think
it makes a conversation.
There's at least people, and there's probably people mad about it on Twitter right now anyway. But if he does something, he has a good chance to make the trip to Tampa. At least survives one more until Rugi's back. Because, I mean, Ford and Voit are rather redundant. But, Hoch just said it to us. He expected Ford to be the odd man out with Voit expected to be back.
Well,
and
there is some...
Ford did something this series, and Andujar kind of didn't.
There is some playing time to be had. I mean, there's injuries. There's Rugi's out. There's, think about some of these guys that are playing. But...
Yeah.
No.
Voit and Urshela aren't combining for 6 games played this week.
Yeah.
Against the Rays. So
interesting. JOMBOY, a guy from Twitter, reached out to me and he said his pride is Brad Hand. So tough break for Brad. Actually, congrats, Brad. That's tough, man. He against the Yankees, his stuff kind of can't get past them.
Yeah, it is weird. I meant to bring this up earlier. I mean, think about what his last 2 games against the Yankees were statistically. I mean, this game it was 0.1 innings, 1 earned, and yesterday 1 inning, 1 earned. And he's been good this year. And he's been good in his career. The Yankees beat him in the playoffs. And this year, beating him back-to-back days, his ERA is still below 2 in reliever ERA stuff. So he's been good. It's it's officially he has a Yankees thing now.
Thing.
We face him again, which I guess interleague we kind of aren't gonna.
Yeah.
But, it's a thing.
We probably go there for
at some
games,
point,
right? We'll see.
Lost weight on 4 pitches today.
After this home trip, it's tough to give out an MFer, but I like the Andujar one. I think I'm gonna go. Hoch kind of hit it on the head. It's Clint, man. Mm-hmm. Clint, he hit the homer in that Astros game we were at, the final game. Short porched one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a constant waiting game for Clint to get hot, and it just hasn't happened. He's
almost done it 3 times now.
There's been a couple times that you're just like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And it hasn't happened. He's 1 for 11 in this series. That's 0.91. It's not good when your tool is hitting, and we missed it when we went through the games. He did have his most egregious dive that he didn't need to dive for in the first game. I mean, my ask throughout is that Clint just catch the ball. And we've kind of gotten to that point, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the dives have been pretty funky. You know, we've got the glove facing the wrong way. Sometimes
I'm blanking on which series it was. We did have those series recently that he didn't catch the ball. But
yeah, no, he had that one, the first play of the game. And yeah, you know, we've had a lot of debates about, you know, does he need to dive for this one? Does he need to dive for that one? And it's probably 50-50 if that one in Friday's game was not.
But at the same time, it kind of was the actual best catch
It was
made.
a solid catch. It was a good catch. Didn't need to dive, and that just sends everything into a whirlwind. And more importantly, 1 for 11 this series, and he's out there to hit. And his stats on the year now are, let's see, Clint Frazier after today is hitting 143.
Enter today 72 OPS plus.
He's got a 566 OPS. Like, you know, if you go around the team and you say, like, and you just make it simple, like, what's your role on the team? Like, Clint's would be, oh, you hit. And he's just not doing that right now. So, interested to watch as the playing time game develops. And I mean, Gardy's not doing much of anything either, so maybe Andujar gets hot at AAA. So those are the MFers. Tough. Been a good homestand. 2 wins, whatever. It's out of the way. It's done.
Yeah, it's done.
What's dead may never die.
Regular old awards.
You got an award, BBD?
I do. I hesitate to give this one first because I don't think you're going to go to this guy, but
Okay.
it's the award I came up with first when I realized I was gonna be giving awards today. This is the BBD was a weird kid award. Any guesses who it's gonna go to?
BBD was a weird kid award. BBD was a weird kid award. Who else was a weird kid on the team? Like Mike Ford? What do you got?
I'm giving it to Brett Gardner.
Okay.
I think I just closed it. I want to have the numbers right.
Sure.
Numbers. He hits the double today that a bunch of likes about. Yes, so he had his 1,396th career hit today. It was in the top 25 for the Yanks all time. Ties Greg Nettles. Now, as a kid, I watched like every Yankeeography. Like we had the TiVo automatically record every Yankeeography, and I've watched like all of them probably double-digit times.
Okay.
So like, if nobody's asked the question, but if someone asks, so like, who's your favorite Yankee you never like got to see? Like Greg Nettles is kind of my answer.
Nettles is a good one.
And he was like my dad's favorite.
Yeah.
So
his highlights are awesome.
Yeah. Like I have like a weird, like we retired 8 twice, do 9 twice, get him in there because.
So Gardy gets the award
for tying Greg Nettles in career hits.
For tying Greg Nettles. Got it. Okay.
Because I was a weird kid and know way too much Greg Nettles information.
Gotcha. Okay, I like that. Yeah, on the broadcast today, the Yes Trivia was the 4 guys that had played 1,500 games for one team. It was Gardy, Ryan Zimmerman, Yadier Molina, and Joey Votto. Joey Votto. So, yeah, man, it's one of those weird things. I know
got hot with some Gardy stuff.
I know, WAR is a unique stat, and it's
not
measuring
the whole
stuff
story.
we don't fully know. But, yeah, I think who tweeted it out? It was like the top 20 MLB guys.
Is like the top 20 like just active career WAR leaders.
And it's, a lot of guys that you could guess and rattle off, and Brett Gardner is also in that
in
mix.
the middle of them.
So he's had a really nice career. And real Yankee fans appreciate Gardy. Like, Sweeney Murdy, some of my favorite tweets ever, were like, you must not go to the stadium because everyone there fucking loves him. And I was like, Sweeney, let's go.
He's been getting, like, when he's been a late game sub, they, like, roll call again for him.
Yeah.
According to tweets, I guess I haven't gotten to see it. But it happened at least once.
Yeah. No, it has. Good award. BBD was a weird kid. Award. BBD was a weird kid. Award. Okay. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. I will give out the Come on, man. Award.
Come on, man. Award.
Come on, man. It's tough. It's a tough one to guess.
Is it Aaron Hicks?
It is. You did great. You did great. You know, we had a little reminder today. 3-hole Aaron Hicks. And he had the big RBI single in the third. It was the Yankees' only hit for a while because they had 4 walks and 1 hit. And it was Aaron Hicks' RBI single. Seeing Hicks in the 3-hole again. He had a walk today. He had a hit today. Series wasn't great. He's another one, and I guess this is where it changes. So I mentioned, Clint Frazier on the team to hit. Aaron Hicks, that's not his only role. He's supposed to be the center fielder for the Yankees and play good defense out there and have, decent range and a good throwing arm. Seeing him in the 3-hole today is like, come on, man. His stats on the year right now. He's hitting 198. The 640 OPS. Even if you're not a Hicks guy, that's not Aaron Hicks. It's just not. Aaron Hicks is a solid ball player. And he's looked better. Obviously him having a tough start from the left side, hurts a lot of his stats.
The strong side of the platoon.
Right. You're going to get the majority of your at-bats there. He's starting to look a little better. And I know Yankee fans, sometimes we get frustrated when he was 3-hole Hicks because we did this discussion a lot. There's other guys in the lineup that you just say, as a pure hitter, they should be above him. Aaron Hicks should be a fun guy in this lineup. If he's in the 3-hole for a day, good. If he's 5, sure. 7, why not? He's a switch hitter that can do it from both sides of the plate. That's an awesome player to have.
Got some pop, gets on a lot.
So, even if Clint gets going, Gardy's still going to grab a day or he's going to be a defensive replacement. Hicks is out there. They traded Talkman. We can't dream about that. Gardy can't play center field every day at this point of his career. Aaron Hicks is going to be out there. He's looking a little better. Let's go, Hicksy. Come on, man. You got this, dude. You got this. So he's getting going. Come on, Hicksy.
Yeah, and Hicks has been better lately. It's clearly better than it was.
Yes, definitely.
I tweeted out some Hicks stats yesterday morning. I believe since April 30th, I was trying to calculate. I was trying to factor in today, so the math could be off. But since right before May, so he would have gotten my next award. I think either a Mr. May thing or I was hesitant to give it out as a stepping stone because it's a vaunted award.
Whoa. Yeah,
I don't think we're there yet. But and for this series, it wasn't really deserved. And since then, 385 batting average, 484 on base. He's getting on. He's starting to hit a little bit. He's hit the ball hard a few times from the left side. So you can see the light at the end of the tunnel coming, but
he's going.
Love me some Hicks if he can get it going. Otherwise, it's kind of tough.
What's your final award, BBD?
My final award. I was scrambling a little bit, and I think I've figured out where I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
I'm going to give out the Don't Be Bait award.
Don't Be Bait award. Mike King.
Not Mike King. I'm giving it to Justin Wilson.
Okay. Interested?
Yesterday when Wilson was coming in at the end, people were scared.
Yeah.
Because he's had kind of 3 bad appearances in a row and all that stuff, and Licky's like jumped him in the pecking order, and I tweeted about like I don't know, I just don't feel the same emotions. It feels like Twitter's feeling. Like I still like generally like I'm fine with Justin Wilson. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm not trying to argue he's been good, but it's starting to click like maybe. And we've been on Tuesday, we're going to be doing our voicemail episode and trying to figure out like who trade targets might be. I mean, Justin Wilson kind of makes just enough. He might be the guy we're sending somewhere. Ooh. And we added Wandy Peralta, who kind of does the same like role that we thought we were getting Wilson for. Similar money stuff. So you can play yourself out of it and make yourself very necessary. And you've had a good career. I trust his close to 10-year career more than I trust the last 3 games being bad, and he was great in extras yesterday. But so I'd rather you not be, and we just use you because having good bullpen pieces, you can kind of never have too many. But
no, that's a great point.
So don't be
BBD.
bait.
That's a great point. With Wandy, with Litke, if you're looking at it from the lefty perspective, if Wilson doesn't get it going. And we talk money stuff as trade deadline comes up. Yeah.
I forget what his literal salary is, but he at least will get you a little bit off.
Right.
Whatever.
To make it fit. Yeah.
If you're
he's got one of those player option buyout things, so I'm not going to pretend to do the math, but somewhere around 285, but it would be prorated at the deadline.
Yeah, whatever the luxury tax hit, I don't fully know.
But yeah, if you got to squeeze something in at the deadline,
if they say they're going to go get some outfielder, or I mean, look at the Nationals or something. We just saw them. Maybe they're pretending they're in it, but also want to do some salary stuff. The Yankees love Schwarber and Bell, but let's say it's Schwarber. I wouldn't be thrilled with it because he kind of has been bad this year. But we just saw him hit a Yankee Stadium homer, and this is getting into what Tuesday's episode is supposed to be.
Yeah, I think if they trade, I think it's got to be pitching.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But in theory, the way the outfield's playing, they might be targeting outfield.
That could become a conversation.
And you can do some, like if you're the Nationals, you're like, oh, well, we're reinforcing our bullpen. We're trading from a position of strength because we kind of have a full real lineup. So both teams can talk themselves into they're actually just adding here.
Okay.
Just a trade that comes to mind because I just saw Schwarber hit a home run in Yankee Stadium, and Cashman loves him. But
okay,
I don't know. Wilson might be the guy going another way.
Okay. I like it, BBD. It's an interesting thought process. He did look great in the extra innings, and
if he can just be good, that's the best. It's best for everything.
I think, dude's had a really good career, and I don't think his peripherals are crazy or anything like that. So, he should get it going. It's the tough life of being a reliever. Interested, though, because you're right. I mean, a couple hiccups, get on a hotter seat real quick. So don't be bait. Was that?
Yes. Don't just be trade bait.
Right.
We're just sending you the other way.
Don't be bait. That's real talk, man.
Yeah.
Don't be bait.
I guess if you're good, you might still just be bait and we send you somewhere anyway, but I'd like you to be here.
David Peralta in the chat. Easy with that. It's a big weekend. I am going to go with Hidden Under the Garbage Award.
Hidden Under the Garbage.
Hidden Under the Garbage Award.
Wow.
Yeah. Prestigious.
Hidden Under the Garbage.
Prestigious.
I don't have a guess.
It's going to Aaron Judge.
Mm.
It's going to Aaron Judge. Hoch mentioned it. You could see it online. Aaron Judge has been in a bad way for a little bit. Some people have been saying it's the worst he's kind of looked in pinstripes, at least since
that
2017.
year.
Yeah.
over month.
Yeah.
It's even that bad.
And you know what? The Yankees just had a nice homestand. 7-2. There's a lot of other guys in the lineup that ain't doing it right now. We're getting Voit back. There's a lot of excitement. If Judge had been doing what he's been doing and the Yankees have been losing, whoo, there'd be a lot of loud Judge combos. And his numbers on the year still look fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, not great, below Aaron Judge level. Let's see. Coming into today, he was 2 for his last 24, excuse me. And today
He gets the
he
pinch
got
hit
one
walk.
a pinch hit walk. That's right. They sat him. Here's what I'll say. People go hot and cold in baseball all the time, all the damn time. The Yanks were winning. 14 strikeouts in those 24 at-bats. You know, we hit 7 in a row strikeouts. Times were bad. He had the error in the outfield. We're alluding to some injuries. So, and I know Jimmy's mentioned this on here and JJR a few times, and I think everyone did this in their different way. Jimmy's dad would take him to McDonald's, and he'd say, hey, make sure you throw the McDonald's under other trash. So if mom looks in there, doesn't see that we went to McDonald's. We all did that in our different ways. Whatever you were throwing out.
Everyone's had to throw out something that you got to bury a little bit.
You eat the last Cliff Bar, and you don't want people to know that you had it. You want them to
Shove
still
it
think
to the
it's in
bottom.
there. Yeah, you know, there's all sorts of tricks. We all do it. So for this series, let's do that with Judge. You know, there's a lot of other conversations. We just ran through them all. You know, Judge, it's down there. You're going to get the double off day pretty much. I mean, he walked today.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
That's something.
Off day tomorrow. We're heading to Tampa, which we can kind of start having that combo a little bit. It's going to be interesting. You know, the Yankees just had a nice homestand. They're feeling good. 2 games above 500. The season's going. Pitching's been good. Voigt's coming back. Tampa's killed us. Tampa's killed us.
I haven't looked at their run differential or anything in their record in the last week or so, but for most of this year at least, they've been kind of a bad team against everyone besides the Yankees.
Yes.
And I would assume that still holds up.
So it looks like, I mean, just awesome. I brought up the probable pitchers, and they have Monty, Cole, and Tyone for the Yankees. Rays are TBD.
Right.
Let me see if another website, if Roster Resource.
While you do that, I'll do some Judge stuff.
Sure.
Tie the bow on your award a little bit. He did get a timely hit this series. No, it's a fake hit, but it dropped.
Sure.
So it happened. There's an element. I mean, this slump predates it, but he did lose his protection a little bit just with Gio going out. And so hopefully between Gio and Voit coming back at points in this Tampa series, hopefully one of them will slide back into the 4. He'll be his protection again. He starts getting a little better pitching. I mean, he's had Glaber behind him, so it's not it's not an excuse at all, but there's an element of it. It's been better and we saw what happened when Mike Ford bad behind him. And he was hot. Just walk him and move along.
There's been noise on Yankees Twitter. Judge is so big in the Yankees that it can get loud on national Twitter, and he's a step away from that. So watch out for that. It says that the Rays have lined up Yarborough, Fleming, and Hill, 3 lefties. They have also messed around with openers. You guys,
they're all guys that could be opening.
you guys know that. It looks like they're dodging Glass now. They do have an off day, so I wonder if he'd be on time for the last start if they really want it. We'll see. We know the Rays are going to raise. Pete Fairbanks is back. My crazy-eyed friend. So yeah,
I think didn't they get him back but lose someone else the same day? We'll remember soon, I guess.
They might have. Arch is hurt. Trino, Swaka.
They lose Castillo or something.
Yeah, Castillo's hurt. So yeah, I mean, it's hey, maybe this is another guy who should have got an award so far. Go look at the Rays injuries and then go look at the Yankees. The Yankees, knock on wood, wherever you are. Shout out to Cressy, man, I guess. because the Yanks have been
getting
pretty
his
healthy.
Full real year.
So I'm sure I jinxed that, and people hate me.
And we said it.
That's
we said
fine.
it a few times, and we did happen to lose 2 guys last series, but
right. But it's
it's all
also
good.
It's
So
all
far,
good.
so good. No complaints on the injuries here.
Let's see. Anything else from Jimmer? Pride to Brad Hand. Oh, Jimmy said Chapman wouldn't throw his secondary pitches with runners in scoring position, something he's going to have to work on. So, something to watch. Interesting. You wonder if that depends Gary and Higgy, too. We'll
Yeah, is
check
he-
on that.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's saying that that's like today specific. I guess nobody got it
Whatever.
on base today, so it would have been yesterday.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Higgy was in.
Higgy was in. Yeah,
don't
so interesting to watch that,
monitor
sure.
it. Guess he
Stanton.
hasn't had let guys on this year.
Stanton with a low-key blast series, but he gets the game-winning hit, so
That
hopefully
mattered. And he walked.
he
He
had
walked 3
walk-
times.
Yeah,
okay.
it's
So
not
not as.
not
And they were
very-
today. So just today was a good game. But
Gary hit the homer, and then he had like a homer scare at the end of the bad game, where he almost got one. I know
Yeah.
people were tweeting out like,
it just would
can't
have
even
felt
get that.
good.
Yeah, it would have felt pretty nice. Gary's on base percentage is good. Do with that whatever you want. Higgy hit a homer. Tyler Wade is coming in and running when he's on base. Bullpens, that's a Licky. Licky's been really good for a little bit now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even
Let me
when he
butter knife
was-
Licky, and then we'll get out of here.
Butterknife Lakey. I mean, even when he got off to kind of the slow start, you could point to weird stuff that happened, and you could give up homers when he was like in his 4th inning of work.
I mean,
he's not supposed to do that.
I mean,
It's
I'm
Glaber weirdness.
probably going to tweet this out now. I mean, Licky's last 8 games, 9 innings pitched, 0 earned runs.
Yeah,
Opponents
and
hitting
even when you're
133.
doing that, like the Statcast stuff loved everything he was doing.
They love it. I mean, even his stats on the year right now look really good. 19.1 innings, a 3.26 ERA. Like, Licky's a part of our bullpen.
Yeah,
Big
I mean,
time.
Alluded to it earlier. He's jumped Justin Wilson in the pecking order. Day and Britton have been out. He's been part of the winning formation.
Yeah. BBD, let's wrap it up. You've been beautiful. Appreciate you hopping in. Everyone tweet and thank Bryan Hoch for coming on. Hoch is the best. We love him. He's been nice to us since day one. Everyone tweet at JOMBOY and leave your 5-star review. Says, get better, JOMBOY, and say something nice about him. Pick him up. We're a team. Everyone that's been live in the chat, appreciate you guys so much. You're the best. You guys are the best. We'll be back Tuesday. Voicemail ep. We want to get some trade deadline stuff.
If you're one of the guys who likes doing nerdy GM calculator stuff,
Right. So we laid this out before. We're not doing any $20 million contracts. I think we're doing 10 mil max.
If they're above 10 mil, you just can't assume a team will be willing to eat it.
So we're probably going to land on 3 to 5 guys that we want to follow through the season. And, maybe we'll call some shots and we'll look good in a couple weeks. Because I do think they left that buffer in there for a reason. So
They're not. It'd be really hard to envision them going 3 trade deadlines in a row.
just leaving it.
Like technically, we've done 2 trades already during this season.
Yeah. No, something's going to happen. So we will talk to you guys Tuesday. We'll also be doing the pregame show that day. No game tomorrow. Hey, thanks everyone. I know it's tough. We all miss Jimmer. He's obviously been he's been all of this. So give him some love, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Tell him, Grandma.
Go Yankees.